Welcome back, folks. Second portion of our show, Market Movers, and we have an unusual mover here in Eli Lilly, Dennis.
Lilly coming out lowering guidance, so not good for the stock. It closed at $40.71. It's trading $39.20 right now. Actually traded in the 38s on the news. Bounced a bit. Settling in here, it looks like the low 39s, $39. I'm looking at that number, Joel. We had a high back in October where we touched 39. November, we just slightly cut over the 39 area on a high. And then we tried to bottom in December, and 39 was looking like a number. So we've got 3 points of interest, of 39 being the number before. So interesting enough, we're at 39.20 right now. So you wonder if that 39 number comes into play again.
Yeah, I'll have to concur with you on this one. 39, it's been the low for quite a while. In fact, 39.05 was the low on December 13th, buffeted by the low on the 12th at 38.72. Excuse me. The pre-market activity is confirming that with the low at 39.10. So, I'd have a hard time shorting this thing, in the hole like this, thick stock like this, a lot of volume. I'm sure all the people that have been stuck short this thing for God knows how long since the 37 area might be looking to reel things back in. Coming back on the upside, of course, you got quite a gap here to fill the 40.67. So you're going to meet sellers all the way up. I'd probably say they'd start anywhere from 39.50 all the way up to the $40 level.
Just a barrage of bad news today here, Joel, from a lot of different sectors, but it is same-store sales Thursday, so a lot of retailers reporting. I want to highlight this one, Target. TGT trading down over $2 again. It seems like they've had some bad same-store sales the last little while here. I can remember covering Target, maybe it was a couple months ago, where we had weak same-store sales again. But it is coming into a major support area of $48. We bottomed out there if we're going back into early October. We bottomed, just cut through that 48 area. Trading 47.95 right now, so, maybe we open up near the lows there. Hard to say, though. Starts cutting through the 47, 75 area, then I'd get nervous if I was going to try to pick a bottom on this one.
Yeah, this thing has just got walloped in the pre-market. I would have to concur with those areas that you're talking about, Dennis. We did hit 47.50 in the pre-market. Pretty good volume associated with these moves. I'd have to see probably buyers stepping in anywhere from 47.75 down to 47.50. If in fact you're getting short in that area, really it's probably not going to be a lot of cover for you up till perhaps 48.25 or 48.50. Call 48.50 the resistance on the upside, and major support looming up from the 47.5 area.
Which is TSO coming out, lowering their guidance as well. They were expected to make 60 cents, and they're actually saying that they're going to lose somewhere between 55 and 60 cents. So that's a major disappointment for shareholders there. The stock had actually found a little resistance in the 24 area. Now we're in trouble with this disappointing guidance here. Stock is trading at 22.18 right now after closing at 24.01. You might find some support in that 21, I think we were on the site there, we're saying in the low 21s where we bottomed out there earlier in December. That's a number I would be looking at. I don't know if there's that much at 22. I'd more focus on that 21 area, but we're finding a bottom, looks like in the pre-market in this low 22s, Joel.
Yeah, this one has a little bit of different formation here in the pre-market. Really, it's just kind of just making new lows. Doesn't look like it really have found a firm buyer yet. I'd have to say, starting at 22, 21.95 was the low on December 21st. The previous day's low was 21.70. So I imagine you get some buyers between those two levels. Below that, as Dennis mentions, it does open up down to the 21.13 level. Another low at 21.04. So let's see what takes place if and when against the 21.70, 21.95. Coming back on the upside, I mean, it just really doesn't show much. I'd have to say 22.60 could be a good stopping point on the upside. And, of course, you got that gap to fill all the way up to 23.77. But doesn't look like we're going there today.
Talk about lowering guidance. PLCE, which is Children's Place Retail Stores. That stock's trading down $6 right now here, Joel. $47 after closing at 53.03. The stock was actually trading towards the upper end of its 52-week range. And one day here, we're going to be back in the middle of the range. I love that 45 number. We're $2 away from there. I think that's a good number for you guys if you are picking bottoms on that. Obviously starts cutting through, and I'm always reiterating, if your number doesn't hold, you need to know when to get out. And this thing starts trading, cutting through 45 with some, with some size going through there. You probably don't want to hold it long, but an initial bounce off 45, I wouldn't be surprised, Joel.
Yeah, this one, it did make a pre-market low here. Looks like you got a little bit of a panic bottom here at 46. Well, gosh, it got under 46. 45.66. Bounced all the way up to 47. I expect that really, if this stock gets anywhere near the 46 level, I'd be looking for a bounce. Do not think it's going to get to this pre-market low of 45.66. Any kind of recovery rally, I think you start to run into some initial resistance at the $48 level. This stock gapped up back in November, and it made a 44.60 low the day before it gapped up. So if this 46.5 area doesn't hold, 45, as Dennis mentioned, down to 44.60, which was the low on November 16th.
Monsanto Company reporting earnings, one of your few companies that are reporting earnings today. MON is the symbol. It's trading at 73.30 right now after closing at 72.67. So Monsanto liking their earnings. They did talk about guidance there a little bit too, which could be helping the stock out as well. If this stock goes into rally mode, this $75 is a huge number on this, Joel. I think that's where, it could possibly test, and I think you'd find some pretty good resistance there.
Yeah, first it's going to have to dig through this pre-market high, Dennis, at 74.10. Hit that on very, very light volume and sold off almost $1. So I think you're going to really I think that 75 might be a little bit out of the question today. I'd keep an eye on this 74.10 to 74.33 area, 74.10 to 74.33 area. 74.33 was a high back on December 1st, so if I was long, I'd be looking to get out above those levels. Coming back on the downside, we've kind of shot up since 72.60. You can use the 72.60 to 72.80 level. 72.80 was yesterday's high as support.
Well, I thought PLC might be your big loser of the day, but just about a minute ago, just as we were doing the show, Barnes & Noble comes out here, lowers guidance. BKS is a symbol on this one. Check this one out. Stock is trading at $10.53 right now after closing at $13.55. So you've got this stock, which was in the middle of its range, all of a sudden trading down to close to the 6-month low. You can just see this price falling here, even on your screen. $10 is where it had bottomed out there. If we go back to August, just barely through $10. So I think $10 is big on this stock. Maybe the first time down there, maybe it gets a bounce, or if it opens down there, maybe it can bounce off there. Starts cutting through 10. That's scary. But wow, Joel, they are taking this one out to the woodshed.
Well, Dennis, I guess if you look at the handwriting on the wall with Borders and Kindles and everyone reading books online, I guess this is not that all surprising news. I guess I'm the only one that still buys books when I go on vacation. But $9.75, Dennis, that's the level you're talking about, not $10. $9.75 was the low on August 19th, so closed at $9.98 that day. That's really the only number I can give you that in, folks, is that $10 level down to $9.75. Be looking to bring in some shorts there if I was short this stock. Try along there and let the buyer beware. But, Dennis, this stock's really hard to read.
AEO, another one with same-store sales here today. I'll bring up the numbers there for you. Stock closed at $15.16, trading $12.85. We've got a retail massacre really on our hands here. There's a lot of retailers really getting beat up on their same-store sales, and this AEO is no exception here. Stock is really getting beat up here this morning. I'm looking at the chart here. man, I don't even know what to say because we just came from 16, which are the 1584 high yesterday, where we were close to a 52-week high, and boom, and one trading session, we just cut through 60. We just basically gave back almost the entire gain from the last 6 months. Well, if you go back to where we were back in, we bottomed out, I'm just looking at the chart here, 1250 back in June. So here we are at 1280. We did bottom out lower in September at $10. Like, I don't see the stock going that low. But man, it's been on a heck of a run, and they are just punishing it on these same store sales, Joel.
Yeah, I mean, go back to my theory of when you walk around the malls and you see all these stores and they're selling all the same stuff and you just wouldn't buy any of it. I mean, maybe your kids will, but, evidently, stocks are getting hit. Maybe the holiday season wasn't what they expected. But as far as the technicals go, we bottomed out at 1250 here in the pre-market. I'd keep an eye on that area. I'd use that as my swing area. Coming back on the upside, who knows where this thing can stop. It's certainly not going to fill the gap from yesterday. One other thing of note here to our listeners is, it's trading some volume here. I mean, some people are really making some bets whether, this is a buy or a sell, but we got some monster volume associated with this negative news in Aeropostale.
J.C. Penney, Joel, another one, same store. It's just, I can't believe the market can only be down $4 with this many retailers just getting killed. J.C. Penney, $33.15 after closing at $34.91. So stock, same story, bad same store sales. $32 or $1 away from there. I think 33 is kind of in the middle of nowhere. What do you think on J.C. Penney, Joel?
Panic bottom here at 31.30, so I don't see that coming into play today. A better level, more tradable level is probably going to be this 31.75 area. 31.75 and 31.69 were the lows in December 13th to 14th. But you don't have to worry about buying this stock, Dennis. You know why?
Why?
Oh, because they hired Ron Johnson from Apple. He's coming over.
The Apple executive.
Yeah. So
get an Apple executive in there and they turn it all around.
Yeah, no matter what, you just have to say Apple and J.C. Penney.
We kept joking about that last year. If you look back on your charts over the last year, the stock had a huge spike in June. The volume jumps up to like 50 million shares there that one day there when they hired that Apple executive, and obviously the stock subsequently gave everything back. So, it's kind of ridiculous to think you're going to rally a retail stock 15% just because they hired an Apple executive. But that was the old news, and that was their old joke. Funny that did top out that 36 area again there, the last couple of days ago. So it looks like that number looms large if we ever get back up there. Joel, I'm just going to ring off a few more of these because we don't have time to even go through.
Correct.
So we've got Gap trading down. GPS, I'll bring it up, GPS in the chart. It's trading at $18 right now, or offered at $18 after closing $18.88. Same store sales, here's the story again. Ambient Fitch. Not sure why the quote's not coming up for me. There it is. We've got, just flying through them here, J.C. Penney we just talked about. There's a few that are up, so I shouldn't say it's all bad news. We got the Limited LTD. They raised guidance a little bit, and their same store sales were obviously okay. So the stock's trading up 30 cents. Best Buy's trading up 20 cents. And you've got Dillard's there trading cents too, but your good ones are trading up 20, 30 cents, your bad ones are trading down $2-3. So it's not a good day overall for retailers here, Joel.
Okay, buyer beware on the retail stocks. Folks, we'll be back with you tomorrow.